Islam Makhachev proved he's the greatest 155er in the world by defeating Charles Oliveira. Now, I think he's the second greatest 155er in the world. I think Khabib is still number one. When Charles Oliveira was champion, in my opinion, he was the best active 155er, we'd have to say. I still thought Makhachev was better. But definitely, there's no doubt, Khabib is still the greatest lightweight of all time. And, in my opinion, is still arguably the best lightweight of alive today. And Islam Makhachev, his protege, proved that he is head and shoulders above the division by beating a man who's beat all the top contenders. And he did it, and he made it look easy. In round one, early on in the fight, the two collide. Oliveira kind of like pulls guard, a weird kind of guard pull. He eventually gets back up to his feet. He gets taken down with the phenomenal judo of Islam Makhachev. Yes, Islam Makhachev has great wrestling, but he also has great judo throws. He hits him with a beautiful haragoshi. Beautiful. Brings him down to the ground. Steals the round. No doubt. Nobody was arguing that the round was even close. In the second round, he did what many of us didn't think he could do. He knocks down Charles Oliveira. He knocks him down cold. Gets on top of him. Puts on a katakatami, like a strangle, a half-guard strangle. A strangle from half-guard. And what amazed me, usually when you're in that choke, when you're in a katakatami, when you're in an arm triangle, your arm is across your chest and somebody's squeezing on your neck. As long as you have their leg in your half guard, you're generally safe. Now, we've seen guys get tapped from there. It's just that it's not easy to tap somebody from the half guard. Islam Makhachev in round two was on top of Oliveira in the half guard, but with a katakatami. As soon as he passed, now he's primed to finish that choke. Well, guess what? It didn't even take 1 second and Oliveira was tapping. This shocked me. Usually that chokehold will take minimum 3 seconds, minimum. And sometimes 10, 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds to adjust it and get it on right. Sometimes you could be in an arm triangle for a long time. Even a minute, 2 minutes is not unheard of. But to tap, the fact that Charles Oliveira tapped immediately on the pass, immediately, tells me that when he was in half guard, Charles Oliveira, when he had the leg, he was still thinking about tapping. Because as soon as the pressure went from half guard pressure to side control pressure, he immediately tapped. That tells me that the pressure from half guard was insanely tight. Now, it's not very common you finish a katakatami or an arm triangle in half guard. It's very, very rare. Now, we saw, the only one I could remember in UFC was when Barberena choked out, who did he choke out again from? Sage Northcutt. He just tapped out Sage Northcutt. And everybody was saying, no, you can't tap from there. You can't tap from there. Guys, you're right. It's rare, but it can happen. Okay, now, I know Sage Northcutt for a fact was totally sick on that fight. He had a strep throat. Nobody wanted him to do the fight. I didn't want him to do the fight. He was seriously, seriously sick. Maybe that had something to do with it, of course. But still, guys, a Von Flue choke is very similar in the type of finish. You can get finished from half guard. It's just rare. It's just rare. But it's not what amazed me in the fight. It's the fact that I think Oliveira let him out because he was going to tap even from half guard. He just couldn't hang on to the leg anymore. When he got past, he immediately tapped. Guys, that is so rare. Go watch every fight out there. You're going to see it extremely rarely. You're going to see this phenomenon happen extremely rarely. That tells me that Makhachev's squeeze is insanely tight. Guys, let's be honest here. He toyed with him. He could beat him any day of the week. He can beat Charles Oliveira any day of the week. And now, what can we say? He even knocked down Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is supposed to have the best striking. I think Oliveira is a great striker, but Makhachev is better. He's better striking, grappling, wrestling, conditioning, everything. He's got everything on him. Now, the other thing I absolutely love about this fight, actually the thing I loved most about this fight, was Khabib's reaction. I've watched every single Khabib fight. And let me tell you something. I've never seen him celebrate that much. I've never seen him be so emotional. I've never seen him be so happy. Even when he won his first title fight, even when he beat McGregor, when he beat McGregor, that's another story. But every title win, he was never that happy. He was happy. He even, after he beat Gaethje, he kind of collapsed down to his knees. He showed some emotion, yes. But after Islam won, Khabib was ecstatic. Ecstatic, guys. It was such a beautiful sight to see Khabib, how much he loves Islam Makhachev. The man who's wearing his title. You could see there's not an ounce of jealousy or animosity. Not at all. He's in his corner. He's pushing. He loves to see Islam Makhachev probably win that title more than himself. It was incredible. What an incredible night, guys. I wish the fight went longer so we'd have more to talk about. But really, it came down to a beautiful trip from Islam Makhachev. Some ground and pound in round one. Total control in round one. Oliveira did have a nice escape from half guard. I thought he would get trapped in half guard early. He actually escaped from half guard once, which was really nice. That was the best move he did in the entire fight. In the second round, there's a few failed attempts, body locking against the fence. And then later on, 3 minutes in, what do we have? We have Oliveira jump a scissor knee. Could have landed big, but also it's very risky, guys. Whenever you do a jumping attack, you're exposing your chin. Now, Oliveira, I was saying in the pre-fight analysis, I was saying, look, he's very good offensively, but he's very irresponsible defensively. He's very offensive with his attacks. He's a cowboy. He's a wildcat out there. But he's very defensively irresponsible, and he got clipped by a hard left hook. The most basic attacks, guys. Islam Makhachev is using the most basic attacks at the highest level. He timed it. It connected. Oliveira's feet were off the floor, jumping. That's the worst time to get hit, when your feet are off the floor. You'll notice that most knockouts, 1 foot or 2 feet are off the floor. It's rare that both feet are on the ground. Now, it does happen, of course, but most knockouts happen when 1 or 2 feet are off the ground. If you get hit, you're going to land like a ton of bricks. He knocks him down, and we all saw it wasn't long before he had a nice arm triangle on, and immediately when he passed, there was a tap, which blew my mind, guys. I thought Oliveira would at least resist or attempt an escape, but no. It must have been so tight. Okay, guys, with that said, I want to hear your comments and questions on the fight. There wasn't much to dissect, but I absolutely loved the fight. It was such an electric night. The people were... It was an incredible night of fights. There's so many fights to talk about, but really, honestly, the energy in the crowd, the screaming, the yelling, the cheering when Islam won that belt was just a beautiful moment. Okay, that kick he did was ridiculous. That's from Bros Transport. Which kick exactly? You're talking about the scissor flying kick? It's not ridiculous, guys. It's worked for him in the past. He's not trying out something new. Okay, that was a fantastic attack. He just was. When he did it, he was defensively irresponsible. There are ways to protect yourself and do it when it's not so risky. Okay, there are ways to jump, guys. There are great jump kickers out there. There are guys who made their entire careers on jump kicks, not in MMA, but in kickboxing, definitely. So, actually, in MMA, you could say that even Pettis made his career off jump kicking. He's done a lot of phenomenal jump kicks. There's a time and place to do them, and you got to really protect your chin when you do it. Okay, so I was telling you guys, I think he's irresponsible defensively. He's been knocked down in almost every single fight. If Makhachev knocks him down, he's gonna get on top of him, and it's gonna be a hard night. Coach, how do I not rub into the disrespectful and hateful Oliveira fans? Oh, Jawad wants to know, Coach, how do I not rub it into the disrespectful and hateful Oliveira fans? Jawad, I recommend you don't play that game. Take the high road. Really, honestly, that's one thing I hate about the internet. Everybody shows their ugly side. Guys, we're already fighting. These guys are putting so much of their health and their courage. It takes a lot of guts to get in the octagon. It takes a lot of guts. Guys, those are real punches. Those are real kicks. Those are real knees to the face. Those are real elbows. And you're doing it in front of the entire world. It's a vicious sport. It's a tough sport, guys. There's no tougher sport. Respect is paramount, guys. Respect is paramount. These guys are working so hard. I have not one negative thing to say to anybody who competed that night. Now, whenever we critique skill, it's in the heart of improvement. Okay, it's in the spirit of improvement, not of attack. So I feel like it's so childish. I think, and then people find that as entertainment. But really, if that's what entertains you, you really need to focus on your goals in life. That's really a bad way to live your life. Okay, you'll never achieve your goals if your whole thing is to mock people when they trip, when they fall, when they stumble. Let me jump on them now. No. If you're that kind of person, you're not on your goals. You're not facing for your goals. You're not striving for your goals. Put all your energy in your goals, guys. Put all your energy in your goals.